Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. Today's guest is no stranger to this show, and she's no stranger to our community. Our guest is certified professional trainer Sharon Stewart. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Scott.
I dare say there's very few viewers who don't know who you are. And they might not know you, but they've probably seen you because you are everywhere.
Yes, I am.
Right.
I'm conveniently everywhere.
Right. First of all, I got to thank you for all you do for the community because you're an Energizer Bunny. Wherever there is a cause, you are there, especially when it comes to cancer. And you're one of the many people who really champion the Halo Fund.
Yes, I do. Every week I go in on a Saturday and develop the Workout for Hope. And Workout for Hope is a group fitness class that I donate the time, bring people in, and whatever comes in on Saturday gets donated right back to the Halo Foundation.
It's amazing what the Wright family does. You know, the founders of the Halo Foundation, they donate all their time, all their money to Orleans County residents who have cancer.
It's not just money. They do.
Right.
They donate if you need oil for your house, if you need your lawn done. I've seen people come in and cook meals for them. It's about giving back to the community. Money doesn't always fix the answer, but boy, somebody coming and doing your dishes for you when you're too sick and too tired, that makes a big difference.
You know, they really did they had that huge tragedy there. They lost their mother to cancer, then basically, their father died of a broken heart a short time later.
Cancer too.
And the thing is, they could have let this family nightmare eat them up. Instead, they chose, hey, let's do something great. And instead of just talking, they did. And it's people like you, though, that helps them.
There are a lot of people that are coming back now that have been helped by Halo that are so wanting to give back. There's been runs by families. There's been dances put on by families. There's benefits to give back to the Halo by families who the Halo has helped. They've reached the whole community.
Right. Now, let's go back to a little bit. I've known you, I think, almost all of my life.
Almost 40 years.
Well,
we're 38.
40.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, you're saying that we're 40 then.
So you know me 38 years. Okay.
Well, all right. You're 38, whereas I'm 51. Even though we went to school together, pretty much. But you've been here all your life as Sharon Needleman. And now Sharon Stewart, but you've been an exercise guru in this area for how long?
Oh my gosh, maybe close to 34 years, moving into 34 years.
So you have been involved with it. Wait, how could that be? You said you were 38.
I was young.
You were 3 years old. Okay.
I've been involved in fitness in this community since 1980, end of 83. When there was actually, if you really want to go back to the 70s when Bob Decker had his first gym and karate studio. And I think I was 10. And my grandmother used to bring me to work out in that gym on the Glen Road. That was the first gym that we got started in. And then it was a baby blue dance again. And it was all machines, and it was all women. And the other half of the gym was Taekwondo. Right. So that goes way, way back. That's 42 years of fitness experience.
And now you've kind of morphed. Well, you've kind of morphed all over the place now because I work out with you at the Newport Municipal Building, and I'll tell you that in a sense that's one of the older gyms in the area. And I say that is because that gym was built shortly after, I believe, World War I. And one man who just passed away yesterday was Chet Carpenter. And he remembered working out there. It was the Armory, and he remembers working out there before he went away, and eventually going into fighting World War II.
There is so much spirit in that gym. I go in there and I feel the ghost of fitness past. It just brings back this feeling of this is a gym. It's energizing. It's almost like the spirits are there and we're all ready to work out, and it's big and it's open and it's for the community. It's there. It's a gift from the city to the community to use. And so in the last year, I've made it my destination to make sure I reach everybody. I want to take young kids to seniors to women to men and make fitness a part of their life. So first thing I had to do is make it accessible, right?
Right.
Second thing I had to do is make it cost efficient, right? And third thing I had to do is make the times open, right? So I never say no. I always say join, right? And walking is always free.
Right.
So whenever you see me walking on the street, that's my second way of reaching people's needs.
Right.
If you want to walk or run, that's no cost.
Right. Now, you know, with the municipal building, I think it's an outstanding place to work out. It's airy, and it's big. It isn't. It's an outstanding place, and we do have, because you got to admit, we have a number of really, fine places to work out. Because you're not a one-person show, which I know you realize that, but you have everywhere from Pride Fitness, you have Bill Hogan, you have Lynn Tangway, who's a regular guest. So there's a lot of groups out there. There's a lot of groups out there, but I've got to say there's only one Sharon Stewart.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Right.
I think you drove me crazy enough to work out with you, and how many years? That's been quite a few years now.
I think what I do that's different than anyone else, and it's not that it's different, most importantly is that the more fit you are, the healthier you're going to be. So how can I make my community healthier? How can I help my friends live longer? Do you see what I mean?
Right.
I don't myself, I'm not really strong, so I don't like to lift weights, and I don't like to do certain things, and I don't like to do dance or whatever, but I wanted to make a workout that would fit for everybody. So what I've done is I've combined the beauty of running and cardiovascular with the essence of strength training. Not bulking, but to be strong and mobile and agile as we get older.
Right. Somebody once recently told me this. When I told them who I worked out with, they says, "Oh, she's scared. I'm too afraid to go to her." And because you are tough.
I'm tough.
But on the other hand, what I told this person is, you're like a one-room schoolhouse teacher, though. That had 8 grades. That was a real art form, because a one-room schoolhouse teacher had to teach to each person. So she had to really know those people. And I said, you're like a one-room schoolhouse person. You know what each one of your students needs.
Right.
And it's like, for example, I've worked out with you long enough for you to know when I'm being lazy, or when I just can't go anymore. Because if you know you've pushed me to my limit, you're not going to push me anymore. No. But you can look at me and say, this guy is just being lazy.
90% I can adjust you, or it's not that you need to be pushed, it's just that you hold yourself accountable. Right. Accountability and motivation run hand in hand. Right. And people want to say they work out just to work out. I know that if they come in, then that's why they're there. The minute you walk in the door, you become a guest in my home. When you're a guest in my home, I do the best for you I can. Do you follow me? So if I look at you and I go, Scott, that means I think you can do a little bit more. There are times that you come in and go, Sharon, I'm really, really tired. I don't have it in me. The fact that you got there, you always feel better when you leave.
Right. I have never, after you moved to the Mint, I used to go with you at another place, but it did not have the spirit to it. So I'd only go maybe twice a week. But now I always said I would never be one of these people. I would never go 5 days a week.
No, and
now I look forward to 5 days a week.
When people came to me and said, I listen to the wants and needs of my community, and so I'm open to 5:45, and they wanted 5 days a week. So now we're at 5:45 a.m. 5 days a week, and a different workout each day that works for each person. Very few people can make it 5 days a week, but it gives them an opportunity to get there 3 days a week. Do you see what I mean? As long as we can pull in 3 or 4 times a week with consistency, people will always see a benefit to their workouts.
5 days a week allows me to have one extra beer on the weekend.
That's right. Or an extra piece of pizza.
Yeah.
And my other pride and joy this year is my involvement with the Aqua Tabata.
Right.
And that is definitely proven to aid me in my longevity as an instructor, but also I've been able to reach everything from high school kids to my mother.
Right.
And my mother's become my best client. My mother may not agree with everything I have to say, but she loves all my water classes, and she hasn't missed one. The Aqua Tabata is a high-energy water fitness class that is all forgiving. So if you're aging and you have bones that ache you, but you have a heart that's really strong, you'll love this class. It pushes you to the limits that you can't do anymore because jump squats are impossible or a burpee is hard for you. The water puts you into a different level.
Right.
And we do that one on 9 o'clock Tuesday and Thursdays at Freedom Therapy, all winter long. So even when the snow gets you and the cold gets you, for 2 hours every Tuesday and Thursday, you feel like you're in the tropics.
Right. And, well, what is your website? 'Cause people can find all your classes on your website.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Personal Training by Sharon. You find my schedule there. I answer questions there. A lot of people are confused to actually what I do, so I let them know about what my class is going to be or how it will help them. People will write to me about everything. I always answer back.
You know, one thing people think is, well, I can't go to your class because I'm not fit. Like, wait, no, that isn't the way it works. Is, you know, I've seen people, like, your class is all ages and all fitness levels. I think your latest one was what, 2 or 3 years old.
Oh yeah, kids especially, right?
Who came along with her mother, and
she'll be my customer next.
Right.
So when she turns 8, we'll see her general.
So the thing is no, people don't stand there and stare at each other and judge each other. I think your class is really, everybody encourages each other. And
if you go back in the realm of fitness and how the exercise classes have changed since Jane Fonda brought it on the horizon and Richard Simmons brought it on the horizon, and we used to go to exercise classes back in the 80s we used to do step. If you didn't follow the step, and I used to call it keep it simple stupid, you'd give up. Now you would have an instructor in front and you had to follow verbatim. And if you didn't follow, you felt like a failure, correct? Or you couldn't get your heart rate up, or you weren't getting anything out of the class. So from this, we've come full circle to make these classes accessible to everybody, male, female, old, and young. Anything that's going to get your heart rate up. You can move in place and walk in place, or you can run in place, right? You can do a squat, or you can do a jump squat. You follow me? It's basic exercises meant for the whole population. Modification, easy, hard, harder, hardest. Now my next move was to take the gym and make it a women-friendly atmosphere. Not just women-friendly, but people-friendly. I've worked in gyms for close to 30 years, and I've loved the experience of being able to help people put a workout together that they've never thought of doing. But gym use used to be the dating scene.
No,
right?
you're talking about like Kingdom Racket.
Yeah, like
Fitness,
Kingdom Racket and Fitness, or Bill Hogan's gym, or any of these gyms where you go and you have treadmills, you have basic weights, you have pulley machines, you have all kinds of equipment that are awesome to use, but people are unfamiliar with, and when they're unfamiliar, they tend to hold back, right? So my idea is to take and make it friendly for everybody. And now I've taken the equipment in the gym and created a workout with 8 to 10 people, and you have your own personal trainer. So when you walk into this class now, the workout's set up for you. We pick 4 pieces of equipment, you pair off, and in 20, 30 minutes, you're done. Each piece of equipment works a different body part.
Right.
And then before you know it, all of a sudden you know where your triceps are, you know what's moving your biceps, you know what's moving your quadriceps and what's moving your legs. 90% of people that walk into the gym are unaware of how to use equipment or to use it correctly.
Right. And you know, how does it feel for you when you see the success? Because Brian, for example, I'm not sure how many pounds he was overweight, and he really wanted to go into the army. And they I think they kind of looked at him and said, I don't think so.
We have to bring him on the show, but I'll tell you something. The best reward for me, more than money, more than job security, is the fact that I was able to change a young boy's life. That he had enough faith to come to me and ask me for help. And being the fact that I wanted him to know that doing this wasn't going to cost a lot of money,
Right.
this was all donation from me. And as long as he stayed consistent and followed the pattern and followed the plan, he was going to succeed. And when he succeeded, I succeeded.
Right.
And you know something? It took us 8 months, and we did it. And he never asked or said, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. I always got from him, I'll try. This boy started off, couldn't even run a mile, let alone 6. And then, was it last month, he beat me down the Derby Road by 6 minutes. Every goal that we set for him, he reached and he attained.
And now he's made his big
Now he's
goal.
made his mark.
He has now enlisted or is about to enlist. He's made the body fat. And
They told him he had to lose so much weight and get so much percentage on body fat. And that was our goal. And then the other day when I saw him, he said, Sharon, I made my body fat. I've reached my goal. I'm going into the Army.
And just think, if it wasn't for you believing in him, he wouldn't be able to fulfill his dream.
Yeah, and so you know what? In the ends justify the means. You cannot put a price tag on doing good for somebody. And the feeling that you get from helping him and to see his results, that's the best cash deal I've ever had.
Right. You know,
It won't pay my heat.
Even
Or
though
my
you
food
have
bill.
classes throughout the day, I go to it used to be 6 a.m. and now it's 5:45. But you know that, and I know you welcome people to still come at 6. But I think the 5:45 is really working out great for the teachers or people who need to get their children off.
Get in and out, right. 5:45 at first, it was a little bit tough for me, but now I'm used to it. And I find that with me, especially because I have young children still at home, that I get home before they get up. And then I can get them off to school when my day started. And when somebody asks me, Sharon, I really like your class, but I can't do it unless you start at 5:45. Okay, so let's try 5:45. I'm only an answer away. All you can do is ask me, and all I can do is answer you.
But as I said, you also accommodated the people who said, 5:45 is just too early for my schedule. So they're still welcome to come in at 6.
Of course,
and
I
you're gonna
stay
be-
right till 7. I'll
Right.
stay right. If you get there at 6, you still get a 45-minute workout.
Right. And the good thing about your classes, and I'm sure you're not the only one that does this, is you don't have, even though they typically run 45 minutes.
20 minutes.
If you want to leave after half an hour because your schedule doesn't allow you to stay the entire time, that's fine.
I have to tell you a true story. Now I'm going back. I'm changing the subject on you altogether. This goes back to people in the weight room. And I was talking to, somebody asked me, Dr. Harris asked me my style, what I did. This goes back to 1984, and I was working in a resort in South Florida as a fitness instructor, and I taught fitness classes. And I was young and mobile, and all of a sudden I had knee injuries. This doctor said to me, oh, you are not going to teach anymore. You're done. Your knees, chondromalacia, you're all done. So my boss put me in the pool, trained me to be an aqua instructor, and I did water aerobics that whole year. I went back for a checkup, and the doctor said to me, you can have surgery or you can go into the weight room. Okay, now this is 1984, and I'm, 20 years old, 19 years old. I walked into my first gym and was overwhelmed by the fact that I didn't know what I was doing. And I was in a gym with all men, and I was like, oh my God. So I hurt myself. I went back, took what I learned, went back to school, took my classes, got educated, and decided to turn this around and make it women friendly. I didn't want people to have that gut feeling of I'm terrified to be in here, right? I want them to understand that the only way that I was going to rehab my knees was to go into a gym and start to train my legs and my core and my back. Mm-hmm. And since this doctor told me all that many years ago, you're all done instructing, you're not going to teach again, your knees are gone, I've run 36 marathons. And I've taught 32 years later than he thought I would. So my precedence now is that my big push is to encourage women of 40, 45, and 50 to come back into a gym and let us help you get stronger to prevent osteoarthritis, to prevent joint breakage, to improve longevity and mobility. This class that I'm offering now, Workout in the Weight Room, is a circuit-based strength training class, and I'm here because I'm so passionate about it. I think that it's the best thing that I can do for my peers.
Right.
I mean, my peers would be my age group.
30s.
Yes.
30s. So
20s.
You know, and we also, you talk about being women friendly, but on the other hand is at the municipal building and those kind of workouts is you're also man friendly in the sense
On the opposing team, you're right.
Yeah, because like some days I'm your token male.
Right.
And I'm not sure what the women think about having me being their token guy, but being there. But you don't notice, to tell you the truth.
Right.
You're not, you know, maybe it's because we're all in there. You know, I think your morning group is mostly 30s to
50-50. It's half and half.
Yeah, you know, to 30s to maybe 60s.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
I think there's 70s thrown in there.
Right, very possibly. I didn't want to say that because
Wow.
I don't really know. But the thing is it really isn't. It's not a big deal.
There's no age. There's no age. There's no cost. There's no reason. I think I've got rid of all the obstacles to why people can't exercise.
Right. Well, you're in the municipal building, and I know you have classes in the different places, but I only go to the municipal building. It's such a centrally located place for the different times, and I think you're going to be bringing back the noon.
Yes,
noon
I
workout.
have a workout for the lunchtime crowd over the summer. We're in
That's
an
going to be in
area.
October.
The reason that we don't do it in the summer in October is that we're in an area where we like to bike, walk, and run. Right. And we're right on the bike path. We have walking downtown, is centrally located. The running Tabata at noon is a quick bing, bang, bong workout. You come in and you're done. It's a setup and it's a circuit training workout with intervals of running and stair climbing. And then you do weights, so you're getting a full body workout in a half an hour. You can go back to work, take your lunch, and go.
You know, even though I could never be an afternoon workout person, I would be plotting and scheming all day why I was not going.
Exactly.
See, if you do it really early in the morning,
It's done.
you don't actually wake
Right.
up until the first set's over with.
Exactly. And
so,
I always say everything after that's a benefit.
Right, but you do offer workouts in the afternoon for the people.
And usually that's a whole different group of kids. It's usually younger, teenagers, high school kids. It varies on what sport's going on at what time and that type of thing. I prefer myself at my age, I prefer to do it early in the morning.
Right.
I mean, as I get older, my mind keeps thinking I'm 20 and my body keeps reminding me that I'm going to be 52. So I have to find a balance that I don't think that in the next 10 years you'll be seeing me do 6 a.m., noon, 3:30, and 4. Somewhere along the line I'm going to have to take a water break, an aqua break.
Isn't that funny how age works? Because I agree with you. We're the same age, and I'm going to tell you, I feel better than I did. I feel so good, and I attribute it, at least in part, to you, because I've never been in horrible shape. But, you know, now that I go 5 days a week, and it really isn't that big of a deal. It's half hour, 45 minutes.
Once you're there, it's
I feel
over.
like, you know, I feel like $1 million.
There are days and there are days where I go, oh my God, it's 5:30, I can't do this. You know, every day I think maybe this is the day I don't want to do it. But once you get there, you leave from the time you start to the time you end, you feel like $1 million. You leave, the day's on your own, and everything's done.
Some days I need to be honest. You know, talking about age, it isn't until I look in a mirror or see a photo of myself to realize I'm not 25 years old. No, that guy, that middle-aged bald guy, that's really you.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're like, okay, but I can deal with it because I feel great.
The other thing that was brought up for me to start again, we used to do at IROC, was the Biggest Loser Club.
Right.
The Biggest Loser is so familiar for TV and everything, but the people that we want to encourage to do this is to hold you accountable. It's to motivate you. It's to get camaraderie. And it's a way that you can all share your weight loss experience. Because if you get two that are really motivated and two more that are really motivated, they'll motivate each other.
Right. Well, and I think that's even the way your groups operate. And I can say this from personal experience, is nobody pressures me to succeed except for myself. But on the other hand, when you see other people, and you want to, I happen to see the value of, exercise videos for a supplement, but it's hard to get motivated in front of your TV.
When I first started to teach Insanity, I loved Insanity videos and everything, and then I got wind of this training that they were having, and Beachbodies decided to train instructors in local gyms and bring the video live. And when we brought the videos live, it was more engaging. Do you see what I mean? Because when you come into Insanity Live, you can't hit pause.
Right.
You can't shut me off, you can't answer the phone, and you can't have a brownie. That's the beauty behind it. And my end of it is that I can fix your form, I can make sure you stay safe, right? And I can modify an exercise that you'd watch on a DVD and go, oh my God, I can't do that. Yes, you can. I'm going to show you how to do it the safe way. So DVDs have their place, right? But a group class has the momentum, has the motivation, and has the accountability. Because you might want to quit halfway through, but you won't, because you look at your neighbor and your neighbor's not quitting, correct? And for instance, the running Tabata class that we do during the week, my husband always says to me, I watch the girls or the guys in front, if they're going faster, it makes me go faster. Do you see what I mean?
But nobody's judging you at the same time.
No, it's a way of self-motivating. How am I going to, oh my God, look at her do her crunches. I can keep up with that. Or it's everybody is in for their workout. But the next person motivating him is always the way to go.
Well, there's one other reason I think people go to your workouts.
Because I give free tomatoes.
That too. We never know what's going to come out of your mouth.
That's true.
And I mean that with total love. Because you don't make, this is not boring. You're not standing there.
I'm not supposed to be boring.
And you actually, and every once in a while you'll say something and it's like, really? She just said that.
It's like Donald Trump. Actually, Donald Trump and I are remotely quite a bit alike. Neither one of us have a filter, and we don't seem to apparently get what we're saying.
So if you go too long without saying something really crazy, it's like,
come
okay,
out.
when is it gonna?
Yeah. The same thing when people ask me to walk. I always say, okay, I'll walk with you, and usually the people will walk for 2 or 3 miles, and I'll ask them, how do you feel and where do you want to go? But if you can engage people, and keep them moving and they don't think they're walking, it goes by a lot faster. The same thing in a fitness class. If you can engage them and keep them always guessing, the half hour goes by so much faster. You follow me?
Right.
Than being stuck in the same situation. Like when you come in the door to my class, I don't think one of you know what you're getting that day. Because it's just to make sure that you always stay moving. You always stay interested. You always keep things rolling.
As you know, in my younger days, I was actually a champion runner, but I gave up that years ago just because family, obligations. But then this spring, you said, "Hey,
first race,
we're gonna run a race." I said, "Yeah, right."
How much fun was that?
It was only 3 miles.
Yeah.
Didn't stop. Felt great.
So interesting enough. Now that you say that, now that I'm on the next 10 miles of training since that race, I think we should undertake a marathon. I think this should be on our bucket list. I think that we're almost there, that we should set a date and say, Sharon and Scott, this is our last marathon. And maybe we can motivate some other people.
On the other hand, is even when I was a top-notch runner, I did not like the idea of marathons. I didn't have the attention span.
That's our next goal. Anyways, just for 3 miles or 26 miles, you still did it, and we had a great time.
Yeah, had a ball.
And how many people did we see?
And we actually passed quite a few people too.
Right. So I wasn't the last one. That's always a blessing.
Right.
That's always a good thing about doing a group run.
I finally did. It was a color run.
Yeah.
I finally did get the color out of my teeth and everything because that.
Hit her again, he'd say. Get her some more.
Yeah, get her some more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just about ready to wrap up. You got 1 more minute. What would you like to say?
I want you to all come out and join me. See me on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Workout for Hope. All ages, low cost. Everything I make on Saturdays goes to the Halo Foundation. $1 you bring in, $2 you bring in, whatever we make on Saturdays, we bring right to donate to the whole Halo Foundation. They in turn give it back to our community. Saturdays, 8 a.m., Running Tabata, Insanity Live, P90X. You never know what you're going to get, but a good time.
And join us at
5:45 a.m. Monday through Friday.
at the municipal building. It's a great experience. And you know what, guys, if you're sitting there, please join us. I'm outnumbered these days. I really need.
I think he should get in a bikini and do the pool class.
No.
How many people would like to see Scott do Aqua Tabata? Then you see him at 9.
All right. Well, thanks for
having me.
Thanks
I'll
for
come
coming
again.
on. We'll have to have you back on once again.
Soon.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.